Hi everyone, this is Jess from 𝐴uthentic strive. Tonight I have my mom here with me and we'll be interviewing her so that you guys can learn a little bit about her life and her background. This is Miss 𝐟𝐴 Donahue.
Hello everyone, nice to meet you.
She's really awesome and has a lot of history, a lot of life to be shared, and so we're gonna get started. What does being authentic mean to you?
I think that being authentic means just being yourself, being the best that you can be, being true to yourself, just doing things that the way you feel they should be done.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. What does striving for something mean to you?
You have to work really hard. It takes a lot of hard work to get to something that you want to accomplish. So it's hard work to hit your goals.
Yeah,
definitely.
No, definitely. What were some of your biggest childhood inspirations growing up?
Well, I think for me, my family was a big inspiration. My grandfather played music, he was a band leader. My father played drums, my uncle played drums, my aunt played piano, my sister played piano.
So amazing.
So many musical talents in the family. Not to mention the music of the times. I grew up in the 60s
the culture.
and 70s, the culture, the rock and roll, and then of course the disco era. So I would say music was a big influence in my life. I was always around music.
So you were born in 1955,
55.
Right? So like you were 10 in 1965.
65.
So that was kind of like the Beatles, maybe the Jackson 5 and stuff like that. Which is what you
and
raised me on.
a lot of different.
That was like the revolutionary switch in
Billy
music.
Joel, Elton John.
Yeah.
A lot of quality in that music.
Absolutely.
And then eventually the R&B and the disco, which was great too.
What were your hobbies when you were little, growing up?
Oh, my hobbies. I loved being outside. I was kind of a tomboy. Riding bikes,
I was
climbing
too.
trees, walking fences, just walking across town. We had a lot of lakes and hills and open fields where I grew up in North Jersey. And swimming, of course, we came to the beach.
Weren't you a
every
Girl
summer.
Scout?
I was. I was a
grandma?
Girl Scout. My mother was the scout leader, yes. We did hiking. We had a great place, a great park in North Jersey in our hometown, the Torn.
It's so beautiful there with the waterfalls and that whole scenery and that landscape.
So yeah,
Awesome.
Outdoors. I love the outdoors.
Cool.
Still do.
Yeah, no, me too. So what did you after... Oh, side note everyone, I didn't like to walk when I was younger. And now that I'm older, we go for a lot of walks together. My mom would always say, well, you were a dancer and you hated walking, so now we have fun doing that.
So.
Yeah. So after high school, what did you decide to do?
I did decide to go away. I wanted to experience life outside of my hometown. I went to a small junior college, all-girls school in Boston. Great area of Boston.
Boston's so cool.
I was, I was just anxious to travel and meet new people. And I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do in school. I was into like psychology, sociology.
Yeah.
That kind of thing.
And did you end up student teaching?
I did. I student taught. I wasn't sure if maybe I wanted to be a teacher, but I did teach for a kindergarten at that time, and it was kind of a tough area, but it was an experience. The kids were great.
Yeah. After college, then what were your plans? What were your aspirations? What did you feel like you were?
I kind of had the itch to travel. I wasn't sure. I finished 2 years of college. I transferred to a third year. My boyfriend was older and finished college, and he wanted to travel cross country. So I kind of decided to put school on hold for a while and work and save money, and we packed the car and the dog and stuff and traveled out to California.
Awesome. And that was what, 1970 something?
Probably 1977, 78. I want to say late 70s.
Wow. That's so amazing.
Traveled the countryside, went down to Florida, stayed there for a few months. My parents had moved down there for a while.
Oh, cool.
And from that point went to California kind of took a couple weeks to see the countryside, and went
So
like the
beautiful.
southern route.
Pacific Coast Highway, and everyone should travel to
Never saw
California at some
mountains
point.
like that before.
Yeah, it's so beautiful. So when you were in California, you did some pretty incredible things,
It
right?
was a fun time in my life.
That was when you learned to dance, right? You did. Well, you did like cheerleading, what, growing up a little bit.
Did a little bit of that. I was a pom-pom girl in high school.
Yeah.
Always loved dancing because, as I said, there was music always around us, around the house and the family gatherings. I met a bunch of people who were into taking disco classes and as a social thing, so I kind of started doing that, and I really,
So cool.
really loved it. So I kind of started dancing backwards.
And
I did disco first, then I did
jazz.
and
That's
then
what I was gonna
ballet.
say. Wow. And then jazz. Who did you train under when you started
Mostly,
taking
I
jazz?
first started under Fred Walton.
Okay.
He was a really big inspiration of mine. I think he taught for *𝒟𝒻𝓃𝒻𝑒 also. at that time also.
Amazing. And if you're a dancer and you know who *𝒟𝒻𝓃𝒻𝓃 is, you know that that's like
He's
one of
amazing.
the biggest of that the time, and still to this day holds like such a pivotal influence in the dance culture
Yes.
and world,
Yes.
which is so
His
awesome.
style.
And you also know some of the other. You also knew some of the other people in the
Did meet some
disco,
dancers.
funk and soul train kind of.
Yeah, through a teacher of mine, I started taking disco classes from a man by the name of Gary Hendrickson, who worked with this woman, Doreen Rivera, who danced with the LA Lockers
Right.
and Denny Terrio. And so I did get to go to a lot of their dance events out there at that time, like Wolfman Jack, Midnight Special, and there was Dance Fever. We used to dance in the audience for Dance Fever.
Wow, that's
Yeah,
so
it was fun.
amazing.
It was fun. There was a lot of good dancers in that genre of
Yeah.
dance. We used to go to different competitions and
Wow.
stuff, different clubs. They had a group formed called Unity, and they used to do like dance fashion shows at different clubs around LA. And he worked with Denny Terrio, and
Did they do the movie Saturday Night?
Denny Terrio did. Yes.
Saturday
he was
Night
the
Fever.
instructor for John Travolta.
Yes.
Saturday Night Fever. Yes.
Awesome.
And Doreen Rivera was an assistant of his who
It was
did
awesome.
a lot of the exercise, part stretching, and getting
Right.
the dancers in shape.
And she was
for that.
also Jane Fonda's
Yes, she did work
assistant.
for Jane Fonda for many years. We used to meet, we used to go watch Denny's show and dance in the audience at Dance Fever tapings.
So amazing.
It was fun.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. Good times.
So what's awesome is that my mom put me in dancing when I was little, and then I learned all styles of dance, ballet, tap, jazz. I did competitive dance, and then moved on to the city from when my mom, from when she was in California doing disco and jazz,
That's right.
and when I moved up to New York and started doing hip-hop and learning about the underground culture, which I really fell in love with. And it was really, really amazing to have that connection. And that like I came home one night and was like, oh my gosh, Mom, you'll never guess I learned this style. And she's like, oh, I actually knew these people,
And-
you know.
Okay, I think you did you take class from one of the
I took class
original
from one of the lockers,
Lockers?
and it was
Okay.
really, really amazing. So it was really great to see how those worlds kind of collided. So after you came back from California, you moved back to North Jersey and then had a dance. You helped one of your friends who had a dance studio, right? And then,
Yes, she had opened the dance factory,
awesome.
and she needed a teacher for the aerobics aspect of the studio because she did all the dance teaching.
Yeah.
And so I got certified to do aerobics and did those classes, and then eventually started teaching some teenage jazz classes,
Yeah.
and getting adult classes, and a bunch of women that came to take class there. We all kind of formed a dance group together to do local performances, sometimes to raise money,
Yeah.
and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah. And it's really
We
inspiring.
called ourselves the Dance Factory
Dance Factory.
Troupe.
You said that was a span of about 10.
We were together
Years?
about 10 years, I want to say. Yeah, through the 80s.
Wow. And you guys had like all styles of dance, and then
Yes, we did ballet, tap, jazz, and lyrical at the time.
yeah.
And even a little bit of couples dancing.
Wow. Yeah, my mom, she had video, like cassette tapes, videos from when she did this, and she did a rendition of Cats that they remade. And actually, the first musical that my mom ever took me to on Broadway was Cats, which was really cool. And then when I was growing up dancing, which I danced competitively and things like that, I did Cats myself, and we were both like
Cats.
the same character, which was really
true.
funny.
That was funny. Mungo Jerry,
And Teaser, yeah. And you guys did, they did another fundraiser with a gentleman who was on Days of Our Lives, and they raised money for someone that he...
A young girl who had leukemia that he wanted to raise money for. And
Which is so inspiring.
yeah, that was fun.
Yeah. And the same gentleman that actually had a lot of these festivals in North Jersey was still running the festivals, and my mom actually got me a spot with my kid hip-hop crew when I lived in North Jersey.
That's right.
And we...
that was for the
another
Street
moment,
Festival.
yeah,
right,
that we got to
in
share.
Denville, New Jersey.
Which was pretty amazing. Yeah. So yeah, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So then you moved to Southern New Jersey,
I did.
and you met Dad, and you guys ended up putting me in dance, which was cool. And every year they would ask me, do you want to keep doing it? And I would just say, well, sure.
You liked it.
No pressure, and it was really
Seemed like you
great.
had fun.
Yeah, and my dad was a gymnast, and
Right, and his mom danced
His
at some point.
mother,
so-
my grandmother, yep.
Right, my mom liked to dance.
Yep, my other
Kind of
grandmother.
in both sides of the family.
Yeah, and my aunt, and yeah, like lots of different like aunts and uncles, cousins, like everyone always has some kind of like artistic thing, which is really, really awesome. And it was just such a great upbringing, and I really want to thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So how do you stay active and healthy now?
Pretty much now, weather permitting, since we're in South Jersey, I love to get outside, go for walks, go for bike rides, go to the beach. I enjoy yoga, ballet class now, and
Yeah, we take an adult
line
ballet
dancing
class
sometimes.
now together. Yep, and we do
So
adult line
pretty
dancing.
much that's what I do for my therapy. you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
To keep going, what I like to do.
I know. It's really amazing. Like, I really admire that about you. And my mom was actually, I ended up getting my yoga certification about 2 years back or so. And my mom introduced me to the studio that I got it at, and you know, I did yoga at different places, but it was really cool to have not only like a dance experience with you, but now a new experience with you. And then now we've tried all types of dance together. We did
And
a
yoga.
Qigong class. Yeah, the line dancing. So it's been really, really awesome. Yeah. So stay tuned. This is our part 1 interview, and we're gonna have a whole different thing going on for part 2. So we just want to thank you for your time, and we will see you soon.
See you later. Thank you.
Thanks, Mom. I
You're
love
welcome.
you.
Love you too.